So, Andy, you know that we're just wanting to talk about this concept of making every contact count, and I wanted to ask you about a particular interaction that you had with a colleague that started you on a journey. Could you just tell us what the background to that conversation was, and essentially what happened on that day that you came and saw my colleague?
Yeah, it was 2012, middle of the summer, went to see Dr. Downing about something that I thought was very trivial. I was going to come out with a tube of cream. And she was asking me a lot of questions, which I thought, this is a bit strange. I just want a bit of cream. and she asked for a blood test, and said that because of my age, she feels that we do a routine blood test just to... anyway, cut a long story short, she phoned me the following night to say that I had diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and had had for a while, and to go and see her the following day. So obviously that night all sorts of things run through my head, and didn't really think that much of it. Type 2 diabetes to me was something that your grandmother had, and it meant that she couldn't eat sweets. And so I went to see her the following day, and half an hour later I'm still in there thinking, wow, this, and it was getting heavier and heavier, and I think she was just scaremongering. I thought, no, it's not, surely not. And she gave me some stuff to read, and on the way out she said, you also got to make an appointment to see the diabetic nurse. Tell them at the desk you're going to need an hour and a half. Really? After all that? An hour and a half as well? And then I saw the diabetic nurse within a couple of days, and it was an hour and a half, and between them they frightened the life out of me. They really did. And it was a real wake-up call. I thought, what am I going to do about this? I was 44, hypertensive, arthritic, diabetic. Is this my lot or what? And it's quite scary. And then I thought, well, what do I do about this? And the diabetic nurse, she was very good, and along with one of the other nurses, talked to me about losing weight, which was obviously a key factor. So, to cut a long story short, I decided to do something about my weight, and I'm a taxi driver by trade. So I do airports, so I'm in the car with customers for a long time, and of course conversation comes round and all these anecdotes were coming out. I know somebody had diabetes, and it turned out very close to the person in the car lost a leg. Really? He had a sore and he went into hospital. Yes, we've got it. No, we haven't. Yes, we have. It's under control. You may wake up without your leg, and eventually it did happen. He woke up without a leg. And another customer, he said, I've had diabetes for years. He said, I still eat sweets. And then I took his wife to the airport. She said, yeah, but did he tell you he's blind in one eye? And he's got a good chance of losing the sight in the other eye. Because he's ignored it, because he works all around the world and never had a permanent doctor. All these things were going through my head. And I decided, let's do something about it. So I went to the local chemist where my sister-in-law works. She was very supportive. She did some reading up on a diet product they offered. It's only a very over-the-counter meal replacement thing. And so I went on that. With their support, I went every week for a weigh-in, started to lose weight, and then started getting an awful lot of praise from everybody that I was losing weight. My health started improving, and the blood tests started getting better. And then it was the latter part of 2012, about November, I looked at doing some exercise. I'd lost enough weight that I could actually move and felt energised. And what do? Gym bores me to tears. I used to play squash, no longer allowed to play squash because of the arthritis. So what do? My wife said you used to enjoy cycling. When you was a kid, you cycled a lot, and when we first got married, you had a bike. I said, yeah, but I don't want to go out and spend 300-400 quid on a bike. So we found one on eBay, guy in Bearsted, 50 quid. I bought it, jumped on it, And it all come flooding back as a kid, riding a bike and how much I enjoyed it. And I literally wobbled half a mile around the block. And then I started going out 2-3 times a week, doing 4-5 miles. And unbeknownst to me, they got me hooked. And I now own 2 bikes. I cycle, join clubs. I do mountain biking, road biking. And in the winter, when I can't get out on the bike, I go swimming. So we're now 2016, so it's probably been a 3-4 year journey. And now I cycle regularly 2 or 3 times a week, 25 to 35 miles in the winter, in the summer more. I swim 3-4 times a week. I do 64 lengths, which I believe is a mile. We do that 3 or 4 times a week. My son comes out mountain biking with me, he's 17. He comes swimming with me in his breaks at college. And I just feel so much better. The diabetes has been resolved. That was probably about a year ago. Found out it was resolved, and I've since had another blood test. And very pleased to say it's still resolved. Everything's still working well. So over a 2-year period, I lost almost 11 stone, which by my own admission I found quite phenomenal. I have put over the last 2 years about 1.5 stone to 2 stone on, but I'm where I am now, where I've been most of my life. I could do with losing a bit, but I'm happy, I'm fit, I can move. The arthritis is unmedicated, I don't need painkillers. Now and again I get a twinge, but nothing. The swimming and the cycling help that immensely, they really do, because they are weight bearing, non-weight bearing, the cycling and the swimming.